I think one of the biggest misconceptions about healing is that people think it begins with something huge and some sort of life-changing moment. A breakthrough, a transformation, a perfect morning routine, a completely different life overnight. But honestly, I think healing usually begins much smaller than that. I think it begins with tiny movements. Welcome to Out of Freeze. I'm Christopher Allcorn, and today I want to talk about small things that slowly bring people back to life. When people are emotionally overwhelmed, frozen, grieving, traumatized, exhausted, or disconnected from themselves, even basic tasks can feel enormous. And unless you've experienced that personally, it can be difficult to explain. People say things like, just do it. Just move. Just clean the apartment. Just go outside. But when your nervous system has been stuck in survival mode for so long, movement can feel terrifying. Not physically sometimes, emotionally. Because movement means re-entering life. And when you've been hurt deeply enough, even living can begin feeling vulnerable. I think freeze shrinks life slowly. First, maybe it's avoiding a phone call, then avoiding people, then avoiding responsibilities, then avoiding yourself. And before long, your world becomes very small. You stop participating in your own life, not because you want to disappear, but because your nervous system is exhausted from surviving. I know that feeling. The feeling of wanting life back, while also feeling completely overwhelmed by it. And honestly, that's why tiny movements matter so much. Because tiny movements begin teaching the nervous system we're safe enough to re-enter life slowly. And I think sometimes people underestimate how meaningful small things are. Taking a shower after days of emotional exhaustion matters. Making a doctor's appointment matters. Walking outside matters. Drinking water, it matters. Cleaning one corner of the room matters. Opening the blinds, it matters. Answer one message, that matters too. Those things may sound ordinary to someone functioning normally. But for someone frozen emotionally, those moments can be enormous acts of courage. One thing I've realized is that shame often tells people, if you can't fix everything, why even try? But healing rarely happens all at once. It happens gradually. The nervous system learns safety gradually. Trust returns gradually. Energy returns gradually. Hope returns gradually. Any movement returns gradually too. Tiny movements, big change. I also think consistency matters more than intensity. A single perfect, productive day won't heal someone, but small, repeated movements can slowly rebuild a life. And I think that's important because many people in freeze are waiting for motivation before they begin. But sometimes movement creates motivation, not the other way around. Sometimes the walk becomes hope. Sometimes cleaning one table creates enough momentum to clean another. Sometimes surviving one day creates enough strength to survive the next. I think part of healing is learning how to stop judging ourselves for moving slowly, especially after trauma, especially after grief, and especially after emotional burnout. Slow movement is still movement. And honestly, some days surviving itself is movement. Some days getting out of bed is movement. Some days staying alive is movement. And that counts too. And if you're listening right now and your life feels frozen, I don't want you to think about rebuilding your entire future tonight. I want you to think about one tiny movement, one thing. Open the blinds, drink water, take a shower, walk outside, text someone back, clean one's surface, breathe deeply for 30 seconds. That's enough for today. Because healing doesn't always arrive dramatically. Sometimes it arrives quietly, one tiny movement at a time. This has been Out of Freeze. The opposite of freeze is flow. Tiny movements, big change. I'll see you next time, friends. Thanks for listening.